Welcome to New Day Cleveland. I'm David Moss, and we are on the road again. And this is one of those shows, well, quite frankly, it was difficult to name, to give it a title. So we're going to call it This and That. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at secondhand things, maybe things people want to repurpose, antiques, treasures, call them what you may, but we're going to go to a lot of places you're going to love, and we're going to start at a place that sort of personifies that whole thing. It's called the Bomb Shelter, and I'm here with Kevin. Been here before a couple times, and this is one of those places you walk around and you want to make sure you brought a big car or truck with you to take some of the stuff home, right?
Van or truck, please.
Yeah. So how did this thing start and what has it become?
Well, it started out as a vintage store that we wanted to try to save as many things as possible and display them in a better light than usually most stores do. And it just kind of grew from there, and now we're about 23,000 square feet, and it's looking great.
Some of this stuff may have started at the bottom of a junk pile, but it's a treasure at the bottom of the pile. When it comes to the surface, it's something special.
Exactly. We find a lot of stuff in a basement that you don't want to go into, and then we clean it up and make it to where you might want to put it in your living room.
Okay, how'd you get the name Bomb Shelter?
The stuff that we like the most or find most interesting is from the era that bomb shelters were, you could order one still.
Well, you walk through this place, I gotta tell you, it's like a trip through time too, because like for me, I my childhood, I see my teen years, I saw when I first started to put furniture in an apartment.
Yep.
I saw my dad's tools. It's like one of those trips too, isn't it?
It is. The whole idea is we curate it kind of like a museum where you can buy just about everything. And the beauty of it is the emotions that people, you wouldn't believe how people would be in here for an hour and they just look shell-shocked because it just brings back so many emotions from the past.
Look at this thing here. Watch your head when you crawl in this baby, but this is a vintage camper that somebody would tow behind their car. Is there a story that goes with this?
It's just another find that we had. We did a lot of work to it, made it look a little bit better inside, period curtains and things like that. Everybody loves to have one of these in their backyard to have their little parties and even camp in it if you want.
Yeah. Now, we look at a lot of this stuff here, like these trunks, some of these collectibles. There's whole furniture here. There's upholstered goods. There's the back row from the bowling alley. I sort of like that. And then we talked about repurposing items and furniture and collectibles, but you also repurpose buildings and parts of buildings.
Yep. Well, these are from Akron. These are giant street light poles. These actually sit on top of this, but we're only 14 and a half feet here or 12 and a half feet here, and we don't have the extra footage to put it all together properly. Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. And then I see all kinds of jewelry, pottery, clocks. I mean, name a word out there that you have. Look in your house and look at something, say what it is, and you can come here and you can find 100 of them from all different years.
Pretty much, yeah. We try to be inclusive of everything, even plastic plants.
Yeah.
It just if it fits and can be used for even for rentals of plays, movies, and things like that.
Set up for a party.
Yeah, or you could do that. We rent for all occasions.
Yeah, that's a great thing to know. And this is here, folks, for you people at home that are a little younger watching. This is a telephone. This is before you used to put it in your pocket. When you pick it up, you'd put this part on your ear and mouth, and then you'd dial the number here. Can you believe it, Kevin? Some people don't know what that is.
Well, my son thought that the cord hooked to the receiver was to keep people from stealing the receiver. So and he's 12, so he was probably 8 when he thought that. But.
Hey, it's called the Bomb Shelter. They're open 7 days a week.
We open 11 to 5 Monday through Saturday, and we're open noon to 4 on Sunday.
When you get to this, it's a big building. As you can see, it's huge. It's going to take hours to do. I got to tell you, it is a great, great spot. What a way to kick off the show. New Day Cleveland, this and that, and a whole lot more.
Well, City Salvage and Design is kind of an offshoot of another division that we have, which is an environmental testing company, where we get to go into buildings that will be renovated and demolished and do some environmental testing. And out of that was born the need to reclaim salvaged goods. So we reclaim architectural salvage, we deconstruct buildings, we kind of find things that are going to be lost and forgotten forever, and we think that we bring a new life to them. Random objects that might be just thrown in the trash, we like to upcycle, and so you can bring them in your home and they can live on. We have a lot of stuff here. We're about 4,000 square feet. We're kind of in an industrial park, which lends itself nicely to have our huge warehouse in the back. We try and set the upfront space kind of more home design, kind of what you can do with our things. And then the back tends to be more of picking. You can pick in our wood and our doors and our windows, and you can put your projects together, and we like to help you do that as well. We do offer some custom build work here in addition to our other location, which is in Amherst, and they do quite a bit more of the custom work. We do things like farmhouse tables, which are very popular. We do those custom to what you're looking for. We do really cool little home decor pieces, which could be a tabletop that's broken that we put feet on and it becomes a piece for your island. So we do some of that here. We do a lot more in Amherst, but definitely we can bring your ideas to life. What we have here are several lines of paint. We like to offer people the opportunity to come in and get a project piece and some paint if they want to go ahead and paint things. So we have several lines of paint. We offer a traditional milk paint, which is a primitive, old-fashioned paint that's just got 4 natural ingredients in it. Mix it with water. It's a great paint and some very nice colors that you can use to get a nice primitive aged look. We also sell a whole line of paints and stains from General Finishes, which is a great company out of Michigan, very user-friendly. They have a line of milk paint and furniture paint as well. Very popular gel stains, so we sell all of those types of things. People love to go in there, they love to bring their pictures, they love to get some ideas of colors, and we really like to help them through that process. This is family owned. I own this location with my husband. He does a lot of the back inventory, warehouse management, that type of thing. I have a store manager here who is indispensable because this whole thing is a monumental undertaking. We are here open only 1 weekend a month, and we flip the whole store around. It'll never look the same, and it is a huge undertaking. So there is a team of people that help me with that. It's a blast from the past. It's saving things that are going to be discarded and gone forever. Every day here is a new look. So if you're into vintage, if you're into architectural salvage, we have people that come in and say, it smells like Grandma's house, or it looks like Grandpa's house, or you know, my parents had that. And it's just nostalgic, it's fun. If you come in, it'll be friendly, it'll be fun, and I'm sure you'll find something.
We visited City Salvage and Design in Mentor, but there's also a location in Amherst. And before you go out, make sure you check the hours. For example, the Mentor store is only open on Wednesday and 1 weekend a month. After the break, another bright idea. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. We're heading west. That's right, we're headed to downtown historic Amherst, where you can get some light. You can buy lamps, lights, or create your own. The place is called Vintage Wire and Supply.
Vintage Lighting and Supply is a unique parts and supply store in Amherst, Ohio. We specialize in selling pretty much anything you would need to make your own light or lamp. You can restore or design your own. It's actually a hobby. My husband was restoring an old fan, and he didn't want to put plastic wire on an old fan. So he started looking into the cloth covered, and he was able to find it, and he thought, you know, I bet there's other people that are wanting this too. And from there it just kind of steamrolled. It was started on our kitchen table, moved into our basement, and 2 years later, here we are. We like to encourage people to do it themselves. So we have sockets, we have wire, we specialize in the cloth covered wire, and we have all kinds of pieces, parts for you to basically design and create your own piece. We need to know from you what length of wire you would need, what color you would need, how many lights you would need, and basically if you have a general idea or even a picture of something you like, we can kind of help you from there. We like to specialize in the new old look. We use vintage because it takes you back to that time area, but it's not necessarily old. Usually when people walk in off the street, they're overwhelmed. They look around and they're like, wow, I never knew it could be like this. They'll look and they'll be like, I want that piece, or they'll be like, wow, I want that piece, but with a twist. and then they can change out the shade or the cord color or add a different bulb or something like that. A basic light is, wire, your socket, a strain relief, and a bulb. So we are always helpful in that way. We can walk a customer through doing what they need to do. We started out just with the parts and supplies for lighting, but we wanted to meet the needs of all of our customers. So we are also offering some home decor. We have a large selection of the drawer knobs and pulls. That's always fun. A lot of people like to use those even to redo their dressers or add to kitchen cabinets. We have finished product, so you certainly can buy it off the shelf, or we can make that for you specifically. Everybody's upcycling, repurposing, just kind of doing stuff with everything. So it's like they just like to be able to kind of put their own twist to it. We have customers that make lights out of everything. It's just really neat.
Vintage Wire and Supply is located in downtown historic Amherst. Okay, we're going to head to a treasure hunt now. We're going to Paynesville. We're talking about multiple buildings, items wherever you look.
Well, Miscellaneous Barn is a complex in Paynesville, Ohio, and it's just filled with glassware, artwork, jewelry. I mean, we're named Miscellaneous because you never know what we're finding. We don't even know what we're going to have in the future until we get that next phone call. Back in, we'll say late 70s or early 80s, the originator of the Miscellaneous Barn bought this barn that you see behind me, and it was just filled with furniture, odds and ends left from Mantle Farms. And he ended up just starting a garage sale. I need to get this stuff out of my barn. Before you know it, people are coming, trading, bartering. And it just kind of turned into a business and just kind of snowballed from there. And now we're a large facility, 28,000 square foot of glassware, artwork, jewelry, you name it, we have it. I tell people take a look around, see what you can find. If you're looking for anything in particular, always ask. There has been times that it doesn't even make it in the building. I sell it on the truck and we deliver it to them the next day. The White House is going to have 1940s era furniture, glassware, artwork, jewelry. There's books and linens on the third floor. Whether it's costume jewelry or diamond or gold rings, we have it just out for display. The Red Barn is primarily primitive. We try to do, I have some old doors in there, nice chandeliers, some industrial, but more of the same, just glassware, artwork. So this is building 3. It's another building here on our complex, and this is where you're going to find the old and new. We've got brand new sectional sofas, brand new mattresses, brand new recliners mixed in with old vintage stuff. If you look over here to my right, there's a ton of glassware, artwork, jewelry, vintage clothing. This is just another little corner that we have in the building where you're going to find imperial glass, baccarat stemware. We've got things like Waterford stemware. We've got an old Mason gold ring. Just great jewelry, other cut glass, a little bit of everything here at the Miscellaneous Barn. This old Victrola is just great. If you don't see, this is the old volume control here. If we had a time to wind it up, we can really jam out the old music here. Got this is Romanian glass, hand blown Romania, hand and signed. It's just, again, online or even in a art gallery, you'd be looking to pay $300–400 for something like this, and we have it here for $75. For the most part, we're a tenth of the original price. So you can really save a lot of money here, especially with name brands like Henderdont, Ethan Allen, Hinkle Harris. If I think it's cool, I'm buying it because I want to have it in the store. Whether it sells in a week or a month, I don't care. Single items to full estates, say you have a retirement home and the home here is just fully furnished and you need it to go away, we go in and clear the whole house out. So when you're coming out to Miscellaneous Barn, you definitely don't want to just go into one building and walk away. You're going to make sure you see the house, the Red Barn, building 1 and 2 and building 3, because there's a little something for everyone in each building.
Miscellaneous Barn is located in Paynesville on Mantle Road. When we return, it's a place that brings new life to old items. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. Okay, are you looking for a unique piece of decor that won't break the bank? Well, we're going to head west to Wakeman to a place called Main Street Resale Company.
Here at the Main Street Resale Company, we have a huge collection of different furniture to soaps, candles, jewelry, and we also build custom pieces of furniture for people. This first area includes the Muffin Top Cafe, which each week we showcase a different home bakery. I know how hard it is for small businesses, home bakeries, and all that to get their name out. So anywhere that I can help another business, I'm all for it. These are handmade artisan soaps made here locally in Wakeman. She uses essential oils, natural products, and everything. My husband actually found this, and it's a old cigar humidor from a general store. It still has the slats and the trays in it to collect the moisture and all of that. And we believed it would make a really cool cash wrap. When someone comes in wanting a piece refinished or found for them, it lights me up. I get to go on the hunt to auctions, sales, the side of the road, everywhere. I get to build, I get to create, I get to bring new life to it. You find a picture on Pinterest, bring it in. We will find that specific piece of furniture, something comparable, or we will custom build. We are working on an antique Hoosier style cabinet. We've been searching for this specific type of piece for about 2 years now. You want to stain with the grain, just the same way as when you're sanding. And then you leave it set for a little while and wipe it down, and then reapply coats as needed. We work with flat paints, chalk paints. We actually do mix our own chalk paint here. We work with glazing, antiquing, waxes. Sometimes even the perfect finish will come out with just a butcher block oil.
There's enough wood that'll help it, there's enough that'll help it pop, right?
Absolutely, I like it. I keep prices low to make sure that we don't sit on pieces and we can constantly rotate inventory. And I do redecorate this entire place about every 2 weeks. If you have a piece that you would like refinished, you bring it in and we will match whatever colors, finishes that you'd like. I love watching the transformation of something that is discarded or someone would not find value in, and turning it into something that becomes a showcase in someone's home.
The Main Street Resale Company is in Wakeman. Okay, our next stop is going to make your wallet very, very happy. Why? Because you can find items for less than $1 at the stockpile.
The Stockpile is a building material reuse warehouse. We're a nonprofit. Everything is donation based. So we get donations from individuals or businesses. So somebody takes out their bathroom sink and they can either drop it off, or we actually have a box truck that's out about 4 days a week doing donation pickups. So they'll stop by, pick that up for you, and then give you a receipt for your taxes, which you can then write it off as a charitable donation. We get a lot of donations from local stores. We actually have a big box store that has been a great donor for us. They give us things like display models, items that were ordered that were the wrong size that they then aren't able to sell, things like that. So we do get brand new items, scratch and dent items, things like that. And then we sell them at about 1/3 of retail prices or less. We also offer an extra discount to individuals who are low income, over 62, or disabled.
Yes, ma'am. Now there you go.
Our mission statement is kind of twofold. First of all, it's to keep as many items out of the landfill as possible, items that are reusable or recyclable. And then secondly is to help individuals in our community and Northeast Ohio in general who are low income, elderly, or disabled, to help them make the repairs to their homes that they might not otherwise be able to afford to do. We have 5 different bays, and we're currently in Bay 3. This has a lot of our cabinets, cabinet doors, cabinet drawers, light fixtures, ceiling fans, a little bit of everything. We have a pretty decent paint area. We are always looking for donations of paint, specifically from businesses, things like mist tints or special orders that they aren't able to sell, or any overstock, things like that. We like the items, the paint to be, pretty much full and not having sat around for a long period of time. We have a pretty good tile section, especially the 4-inch tiles. We have quite a lot of those, but the tiles are priced individually, and they start at 6 cents a piece and go up from there depending on size. And then for decorative tile, things like that, those are going to be a little bit more. Doors are one of our top sellers. We have several hundred doors, all different sizes, styles, interior, exterior, pre-hung, screen doors, things like that. Some of them are new, some of them are used, a little bit of everything. Same with windows. Our selection right now isn't quite as diverse, but we do still have quite a lot of windows, all different sizes, styles. All sales are final. We sell all the items as is, so know what size you're looking for, because in most cases you can't bring it back. We never know what we're going to get or when we're going to get it. We get new items in pretty much daily. It may just be 1 or 2 things, or it may be a full truckload. We never really know until we get it.
The stockpile is located in Canton, and if you want to get involved or donate some items, just get that information online. Okay, coming up after the break, turning leftover wood into art. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. We now move to Medina. That's right, where one artist is doing amazing things with wood.
I've always had a huge passion for design in general. I was renovating our over century-year-old home, just completely surrounded in material that had far too much character to part with, that I decided to start making decor items out of it. And one of the first items I came up with was this 12-inch Ohio, actually. And after posting a picture of this on Facebook, within about an hour we had over a few dozen orders for them. What started as a little hobby on the side grew quickly into a thriving business. When you come into antiquation, you can expect to find unique gifts that are actually made by us. We make a lot of the products right here in the shop, and some of those pieces can even be customized while you're shopping. So I am very carefully branding 1 millimeter at a time somebody's name into this box so that they can use it as a cake stand for their wedding. And we really like doing it by hand because it gives a little more character than what you see in the automated branding. So this way it has little imperfections in it that you don't see when it's just done by a laser cutter. The pieces are all made using reclaimed materials: pallet wood, barn wood, reclaimed roofing, really anything that we can get our hands on that has a lot of character. The most popular item that we have are state cutouts, and especially Ohio, being that we are in the middle of Ohio. We very carefully cut out each piece of the Ohio and assemble it once the pieces are cut out. And then eventually it looks like this, and we staple all of the pieces together and ultimately create in Ohio. Another really popular item are big games. We have a giant Jenga to play in the yard. We're developing a Connect 4 game that can also be played inside or outside. Great for graduation parties or any kind of picnics, weddings. Probably the best thing is being able to be creative in any way that I really want to. I don't have anybody I have to answer to. We can develop things any way that we think is fun with all of these old materials and making something that's new and that has a lot of character.
Antiquation is located in Medina. Now, just a little south of Medina is a place that gives new life to items most of us throw in the trash.
Here at Elements on Main in downtown Seville, Ohio, we specialize in vintage-inspired, affordable luxury. It's polished yet comfortable. We have home decor, furniture, every element you need for you and your home. So the farmhouse style right now is huge, and we do fit in very nicely with that, with the farmhouse tables, with the decor, but I feel like our pieces here are very versatile. So if you're not farmhouse, if you're traditional, we have a little bit of industrial in here. I think we have everything that will fit into your home. You'll find full-size furniture pieces, farm tables, islands, stools. You'll find accessory pieces like shelves. Then you'll find small decorative items for your home, whether it's fall greenery, whether it's metal pumpkins, glassware, metal containers. So we have something for every budget. We have vintage pieces in here. We have industrial lighting. Everything is hand-picked to be different from what you'll find anywhere else. We have a couple different clothing lines here that I am just crazy about. We have Uno de 50, it's made in Spain. Grace and Lace, I love the story behind the brand. It's casual, it's dressy, you can wear it to work, you can wear it for play. Price point's really, really good. Then we have Cobblestone, which is a brand new line for us. It's made in Italy. It's silk and it's cashmere. It's very subdued and understated, but totally classic. I am thrilled to be a part of the growth here in downtown Seville. There are 12 shops. We have everything from antique and vintage stores to clothing stores. We do events, we collaborate as owners. There's always something going on. We have a birthday celebration coming up, and in November is our Christmas preview. So the whole town is decorated, everyone has holiday out. It's a whole lot of fun. This building was here before the train went in, but once the train line went in, travelers from all over stayed in this building, which I think is fascinating. The building itself has original tin ceilings. It had gas lighting originally, but now we have the most fantastic electric chandelier here. My favorite part of this old building is the original checkout counter. I like to stand here some days and think about who's traveled here, where they came from, where they were going. The front porch is amazing. The building is in this little town in the middle of nowhere, easily accessible from several highways. We'd love for you to come down, visit downtown Seville, Ohio, and see what everyone has to offer. I work really hard to make sure that Elements offers you things that you can't find locally. The lines that I choose to bring in I think are very affordable luxury. When you have those unique pieces, I think that you're really able to show your personality. So your home doesn't look like every other house on the block. When people come in, they see you.
Elements on Main is located in Seville, and don't miss their sister shop right next door. It's called Funky Junk. Really a cool spot. Okay, up next, it's antique time. We're going to Chagrin Falls.
Chagrin Valley Antiques is a store that my husband Tom Colucci and I started almost 21 years ago. We are the oldest house in Russell Township, which is Chagrin Falls, Ohio. And we have 11 rooms filled with American 18th and 19th century country primitive antiques and American seasonal and non-seasonal folk art for every holiday and season of the year. We specialize in everything American made because we're proud to have our American artisans working. We have American folk art. First we have seasonal, so we will have Easter, spring, Americana, Uncle Sam's, Lady Liberty's. Halloween and fall is huge for us, and Thanksgiving, and of course Christmas. So you'll always see the first floor decorated for the holiday and season for the time of the year. And in addition, we have our American tinsmith lamps. We have our wonderful American candles. We will have pillows and table runners, all kinds of floral arrangements and wonderful wreaths. And we will have almost everything you can imagine for this season and time of the year that we are coming into. Well, I met my husband in an antique store 21 years ago. And I was going back to college for my 3rd degree, and I was just taking a break because I had to do a big paper, and I happened to be in an antique store, and he was a dealer in that antique store. And the lady said, you know, she's single, she's never been married, and she loves antiques. And a couple hours later, my husband Tom called. We went to Club Isabella's for dinner that following Saturday, and we've been together ever since. I go to an American folk art show in Philadelphia where there are artists from all over the country, and many do one-of-a-kinds and exclusives just for our shop, so you won't find the items anywhere else near to us for probably several hours. And we're lucky enough to have our customers come from other states, from Pennsylvania, Indiana, Columbus, Cincinnati, Erie, Pittsburgh, and the whole entire Cleveland and northeastern Ohio area. And the artists are wonderful for us because if there's a customer who sees something but they want, say, a Uncle Sam in a different size or a Santa Claus in different colors to match their room, the artists will be wonderful and accommodating and make the one-of-a-kind for our customers. We're lucky because we are in the oldest house in Russell Township, and as a result of that, we have a wonderful front yard, side yard, and courtyard to work with. So we have our wonderful steel garden stakes and animals. We do seasonal, non-seasonal. As you will see, we have our large moose and deer and horse, and then we do the dogs and the cats, and we've got our turtles, we've got cats, we've got our seasonal, we'll do sunflowers and Halloween skeletons and bats and witches, and then Santa Clauses, snowmen, gingerbread men. You get something American made, you know where it's coming from, you know the artist, you talk to them on the phone, and you have the quality that you don't have from the imports. But I think it's very, very important in today's world to be able to know where it's made, who the artist is, and to be able to support and keep a small cottage industry going.
Chagrin Valley Antiques is located in Chagrin Falls. Okay, after the break, another place you must shop in Akron. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. Okay, you've heard the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Well, that's exactly the case at Birchwood Supply Company in Akron.
Birchwood Supply Company is, it's something for me that's been unknowingly growing in me for the last probably 4 or 5 years. And for me, it's always been community. It's always been relationships. It's a store, it's retail. We sell vintage home goods. We sell my design work. We sell some other local makers in Northeast Ohio. You know, I'm not trying to one-up somebody. We've got other shops in the neighborhood, you know, and a lot of people will talk about competition. None of us, I think, view it as competition. I'm a cog in the wheel, and that's just in community, you know, that's just in life in general. The personality of the store is me, you know, it's a manifestation of me. I can't even begin to tell you how much time I've poured into this place. And I think on the same level, how hard I've made my life by just completely redoing the shop. You know, and having it set up and I like it, but then I see one little thing and then it's just a snowball effect from there and everything gets changed. People ask me, you know, what are you looking for? How are you getting all of your stuff? What's going on? And I just say it's whatever comes across my path. It's whatever I see and whatever I like. And then to have an opportunity in this awesome kind of space to curate it and to showcase it and put it together in a way that's coherent, that maybe putting a handful of things together that you don't think maybe are related, and they all just play off each other. You know, it's almost going back to the early 1900s, you know, pre and post World War II, just working with your hands. I only work from reclaimed material, you know, and I say material that can be wood, that can be old industrial pieces, that can be anything. That's the beauty of it. There's no limit. I started out doing lighting and just playing around with pendants, you know, the old insulator glass. Those tell the story, you know, like those linemen, I mean, those guys, you talk about grizzled, that's what you get. I think people can register when somebody cares about what they do. I think being a small business owner, I think people are receptive to that. I've poured everything I am into this place, you know, and I will continue to. You know, this is why I quit what I was doing. You know, I completely went in a totally different direction. At the end of the day, I want to give value to people's lives, because this brings value to my life. This fulfills me. This is, you know, I love doing this, and I just want to give that piece back to somebody.
Birchwood Supply Company is located on the corner of Merriman and Mount View Avenue. Okay, you ready for a little repurposing? Well, we're going to head to Shaker Heights on Larchmere. The place is called Matheny Ware.
We started decorative painting 17 years ago, but then we found out about Annie Sloan chalk paint 4.5 years ago, and we became a stockist, and that's what we do now. We mainly teach workshop and help people with their projects at home and how to repurpose furniture and all that. Chalk paint is a mineral-based paint. It's all water-based. You don't have to sand or prime your pieces that you paint before, which everyone's loving. So you just start painting.
You know, it's kind of a perfect paint to work with the actual imperfections of the piece already, so it kind of adds to it. It does everything. It paints everything. It paints leather, metal, fabric, cement. I mean, it's crazy.
I was going to show you the two-color distressed look that is pretty popular. It's a nice way to get a real interesting look. This is the red that we put, and it's dry. I've already done that, and I'm just going to paint a second coat with duck egg, and I'm not going to really cover it perfectly. I mean, I'm going to use the fat that I may go back and sand those areas, so I don't want to cover it real carefully with the paint. Once it dries, I can go back and either sand it or just let that happen. I'm going to put a coat of wax on it. The wax is a protective coat. It's soft wax. It's what we do with it is we gently, really, you don't have to apply a lot of pressure. You just literally swirl it onto the piece until it's covered. It feels a little wet, a little damp. We take a cloth and wipe back any place where there's a little bit of excess. We wipe that off, and we're actually rubbing it into the paint. And that gives it a nice sheen, it gives it a nice coat. It's just a really, kind of brings the whole thing to life. The dark wax can go on right after that. And that brings out some of that darker just kind of brings out the cool carvings and all that kind of stuff that gives it a neat look. And again, you wipe it back with a rag. See how it sticks in there. And that just ages it and gives it kind of a really nice kind of vintage look. Brings out all the carving, so you see that. You can't make a mistake. That's what we always tell people. It's very user-friendly. It's, you know, whatever happens, there's usually some way to fix it.
We always say it's more than paint because it really is more than paint. It is a passion. It has helped women get through cancer, divorces, deaths, you name it. It's a place women can go to just relax and be, you know, alone with their paint and create something beautiful. We share our space with Karina Reimers, who owns the Housewarmings, and she has an amazing painting style. We loved the first time we saw her stuff. We just knew it would be a great fit for both of us. So she has her painted pieces that she brings in, she paints and sells. She pretty much does all custom colors because these colors can be mixed with each other to create new colors, and we show that in our workshops as well. But she just has an amazing style. Back here, Sue and I are doing custom work, workshops, and selling the paint.
Matheny Weir is located on Larchmere in Shaker Heights. Okay, it's time for our final stop right after the break. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. Our final stop takes us to Olmsted Falls, where we'll find antiques, vintage, and even upcycled.
Timeless Treasures here is, it's all vendors, and they have leased spaces. They choose the amount of space they would like to have. We have 18 of us here, and each one has their own little shop. That's in a shop. We have shops in a shop. This building was built in 1895. It was a family home. And it's so beautifully well taken care of. You'll be able to see the different areas and how they're done. We have home decor, and we have gift items. We have just a selection of beautiful linens and I mean, almost anything a home you would want for a home. We have painted furniture, which is the highlight. That's the highlight of this place, is painted furniture. And right now, you know, the painted furniture is a French thing. So people are into Paris big time right now. Timeless Treasures is just so nice because we've got new and old together. And for the ones who love the old things, we display those. And for the ones that love the new, we also display those. And this gives people like an avenue to decorate their home with old and new, or all new, or all old. And so it's wonderful to be able to come to a place where you can see things your mother had, your grandmother had, and it's just a wonderful thing. I love it because I've always done this. I did flea markets, I've done this nearly all my life, and my mother did. And we've just always loved it. I remember when I was a young child, we'd go to, at that time, they called them rummage sales, and we'd carry big bags home, and just, my brother and I, we'd just have so much with toys. We would look at all the toys, you know, we'd have so much fun with toys. It's just come together. We just love what we do. We have our garden furniture, and this is called the picket bench and the picket chairs. They're wonderful to display flowers on or to sit on. They're plenty worthy of sitting on. They're well made. And the ladders here, these are wonderful to hold our linens. If you have things in your kitchen, you would like towels, dish towels, or in a bathroom, you'd like hand towels on. These are just wonderfully made, and they are homemade. The price points are wonderful. Everyone comes and tells us our prices are just wonderfully priced. Things are wonderfully priced. And people are very happy with us here, I think. We've told that. When they come through that door, they go, wow, you know, and that's a wow factor. It's, you know, it's just, I think the gals have done such a good job. It's just, how did you get this together? Because when I came here and opened that door with Mr. Clint Williams, it was an empty house, and I was like, wow, what are we going to do with this? And to have all those vendors together, they just did it. They just did it, and I'm so proud of every one of them.
Timeless Treasures is located in Olmsted Falls. Okay, I know we visited a lot of places over the last hour. Hard to remember all of them for sure, but you can head to our website and get the complete list. And have a good time. I'm David Moss, and I'll see you on the next New Day Cleveland.